Thank you for joining this live stream. I'm so excited about it. So today I've got many. All is good now. All right, let's go. So yesterday we picked some big favorites, which rarely happens. I had 2 official picks, and they posted a fairly disappointing 1-1 record. But I'm pretty excited about the Dodgers win because that was the 13th win in a row for the scoring drought betting strategy. Let me show you the numbers, but now, all right, I'm seeing Jose Sierra. Thank you for being here. Hello, Joseph. Hello, Travis. All right, let me show you my screen. Okay, so you can see here my Excel spreadsheet where I share, where I track the performance of my betting systems. Now, in this column right here, you have 0 if the pick lost or 1 if it was a winner. And as you can see, we have 13 wins in a row. Now, as I explained yesterday, the scoring drought system is one of the few, if not the only one system I have that regularly picks big favorites, which is not something I appreciate, but it has performed so well that I have to keep this system in my arsenal. So far we've made 19 picks and we've had only 3 losses. So that means we have a 16-3 record. And for those of you who may wonder, yeah, but is this enough to make a profit? The answer is a big resounding yes. So, for example, the first pick was the Astros against the Tigers on April 3rd, where the money line was 1.47 in decimal, which amounts to minus 113 in American format. So, I always track the performance of my systems by pretending as if we are risking 1 unit. So in this case, we would either lose 1 unit or win 0.47 units. Now, this turned out to be a loss, so we started the season with minus 1 unit. Then on April 10, we took the Orioles against the A's at 1.58 decimal odds, which amounts to minus 172 in American format. We won the bet, which generated a profit of 0.58 units. So after 2 bets, we had a net loss of 0.42. And so on for all of those bets. And as you can see right now, we have a profit of 4.46 units in 19 bets. So that translates into a 23.5% ROI, which is nothing to sneeze at. All right. So today I've got 3 official picks for you, and they are all underdogs. So that's a complete change from yesterday. Okay, so let's start. The first one is backed by a betting system called the Big Upset. Let's read what the rules are. Again, for those of you who are not familiar with my betting systems, they were all developed after analyzing data on 7 full MLB seasons. All right, so the Big Upset number 1 recommends betting any team that won its previous game at odds greater than plus 150. So that is our definition of a big upset. A team must win with a money line greater than plus 150 in American format, which is the same as 2.50 if you are more familiar with decimal odds. Now they must be facing the same opponent as yesterday, and their money line today has to be smaller than plus 125. Otherwise, this system did not produce good results. So you do not want them to be big underdogs again today. So if you take a look at yesterday, where is it? Okay, the Chicago Cubs right here, they won 2-1 against the Rays. Here covers.com claims that the money line was plus 150. If you click on line movement here to get more details, I'm going to look at Pinnacle, which is the most reliable sports book on the planet. Their closing line was minus 170 on Tampa Bay, plus 156 on the Cubs. So that qualifies as a big upset. The money line was indeed bigger than plus 150. Now, the Cubs are indeed facing the same squad, and their money line today is slightly smaller than, well, here the money line was plus 126. It has dropped below this to about plus 120 right now, so it barely fits this system. Now, do I view it as an official pick, a lean, or a play to avoid? Let me say a few things about this game. Now, the Rays, they have a 26-6 record at home, but on the road, they have not performed as well. They have a 13-12 record. Now, as far as the Cubs are concerned, so far this year, they have a 24-30 record, which is clearly below 500, but their run differential is plus 6, so that's not too bad. Now, on the mound, we have a nice pitching matchup between Zach Eflin and Justin Steele. So Eflin only allowed 1 earned run in 7 innings against the Blue Jays, but in his prior 3 starts, he had shown some signs of weaknesses by allowing 11 runs in 19 innings, which corresponds to a 5.21 ERA. Now, Justin Steele is also struggling of late. He has allowed 5 runs, exactly 5 runs, in 2 of his past 3 outings. And in fact, if you focus on his past 4 starts, he has an ERA of 5.40. But before those 4 starts, he was outstanding. So let's see if he can rebound. So far this year, Justin Steele has a slightly better ERA than Eflin, but he has a worse whip statistic. And as you know, I personally value the whip statistic more. Remember that I'm talking here about the walks plus hits allowed per innings pitched. So Eflin might be a slightly better pitcher. I think I trust him a little more. But still, I've decided to take a shot. This will be an official pick, but to be honest with you, this is borderline acceptable. I was really close from rating it a lean. So I would not place a big bet on this wager. All right, up next. First, let me see. Some people have some comments. The Cubs ruined everyone parlay yesterday, says Zadie Better. Hello, good night, Munchie. Good to see you again. Eric, thanks a lot for being here, everyone. Now, my next pick will be based on a system called the Hot Bats, which recommends fading the home team if they won their past 2 games by scoring 6+ runs in each of those victories. Now, if you take a look at the Dodgers, they are indeed at home today against Washington, and they won their past 2 games by scoring 9 and 6 runs. So that means they do fit under the hot bat systems that recommends fading them. So the second system pick for today is Washington at plus 210 odds. Now, do I view it as a pick, a lean, or a play to avoid? The answer is I prefer to avoid it. Why? Well, first of all, the starter for Washington is Patrick Corbin. I really don't like this guy. He's been quite awful since 2020. His whip statistic, well, remember the typical values of the famous whip statistic are as follows. The league average is 1.30, and if your whip stat is above plus 1.50, That's quite bad. Now, in his past 4 years, Corbin's whip statistic has been 1.57, so that's bad. Then 1.47, then 1.70 last year, which was awful. And this year is a bit better at 1.42, but honestly, I don't trust this guy. Now, in Washington's past 55 games in LA, they hold a 17-38 record. Now, for the Dodgers, they will send Noah Syndergaard to the mound. He owns a pretty disappointing 6.27 ERA this year. What the heck is going on? But his whip statistic is quite decent at 1.35. As I said, the league average is 1.30. He is at 1.35, so it's slightly worse than average. But obviously, the Dodgers are the much better team. I don't feel comfortable taking a shot on the Nationals, so I recommend avoiding this pick. Up next, we have the blowout number 1 strategy, which works like this. It recommends betting a team that won its previous game by a margin of 8 plus runs, if they are facing the same opponent. All right, so let's look at yesterday's schedule, where the Yankees won 10-2 in Seattle. So they did win by a margin of 8 plus runs, and they are facing the Mariners again. So the third system pick for today goes to another underdog, the New York Yankees at plus 127 odds in Seattle. Again, the money lines shown in this live stream or in this video were the best odds that I saw at around 9 a.m. So it's possible that the line has changed since then. Maybe it went up, maybe it went down. I'm just showing the money line for informational purpose. Now, do I like this pick enough to place an actual bet? Let's see what my further analyses have shown. Well, Clark Schmidt will be on the mound for the Yankees. And earlier this year, it looked like he might lose his spot in the Yankees rotation, but he has been doing much better of late. In fact, he has allowed 2 runs or less in 4 of his past 5 outings, which is quite reassuring. Also, the Yankees have had some success in Seattle, historically speaking. During their past 51 visits, they have a 36-15 record, which is very impressive. Also, the Yankees have won their past 6 road games against right-handed pitchers. I've also noticed how the Yankees have scored exactly 10 runs in each of their past 3 games. So the offense has been firing on all cylinders. Now I've got a trend to report to you regarding the Mariners. They have a 6-13 record at home against teams with a winning record. So they have not been doing very well at home against good teams. They've won basically like 30-35% of their games. Now, obviously, the Mariners are favorites because they are sending George Kirby to the mound, who has been very, very solid all year. But again, he's been showing a bit of signs of weaknesses lately because he has surrendered 3 and 7 runs in his past 2 starts. So maybe the Yankees can take advantage of that. I also read something quite amazing about George Kirby. During the whole season, he had allowed just 3 home runs, but in his past start against the Pirates, he allowed 4 long balls just in 1 game. That's quite stunning. All right, so for all of these reasons, my final decision is to make it an official pick on the Yankees. So to recap, so far I am taking the Cubs as an official pick and also the Yankees. But to be honest with you, I like the Yankees a lot more than the Cubs. So I personally placed a bigger bet on the Yankees than I did on the Cubs. All right. Let's see about some comments in the chat. Boy, we have a lot. Travis says, you don't sound confident, Professor. You're probably talking about the Cubs. Yes, you are right. I don't feel super confident. But again, do you remember for the past 10 or 14 days, my official picks have done worse than my leans. So there were many games where I was not super confident. I rated them as leans, and I ended up being upset because those leans were winners. So recently, I've tried to make more leans to be categorized as official picks. So even though I don't feel great about the Cubs, I'm going to take a shot on them. So thanks for this question, Travis. All right. Corbin been winning his last couple games, I think, says Zad the better. Well, you are right. If I remember correctly, Corbin has won his past 3 games, but in one of them he was quite bad. The offense just gave him a boost. Let me check quickly. Yes, he did. He has won his past 3 games indeed, but in his last outing, he allowed 6 runs at the Royals, who don't necessarily have a big offense, but he still picked up the W. So that does not worry me too much. I still believe he is a bad pitcher. Pocket Aces says, good value on the Yankees. Yeah, I fully agree with you. I mean, every time you have the Yankees as underdogs, it could be a good potential wager. Walk This Way 1975 says, Cubs bring out the broom. The Rays are struggling. Let it go. Yeah, I agree. I don't think the Rays have not been swept once all season long. I think it could happen today. Alan Gaming says, well, in French, that the Yankees is a good bet. The Aaron Judge is on fire. You are right, my friend. Okay, let's move on now. So that's it for my system picks. So my betting systems recommend betting just 3 teams today, the 3 that I mentioned to you. Now, after digging deeper, there are 2 more games that caught my attention, and let me share them with you as a bonus. Oh, by the way, before I forget, stick until the end because I want to talk about a prediction contest that will last just 1 day and that I want to offer to you guys watching this live stream, or maybe those who will watch it in replay, but very shortly after the live stream, because the deadline to enter is 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can win some cash prizes. So I will finish with my picks and then I will give you more details about this 1-day prediction contest in baseball. All right, so my 4th pick now, which is not backed by any betting systems, this is only based on my own analysis, and I've decided to grade it as a lean, is the Texas Rangers playing at the Tigers. This is a lean to me, but if you like it enough, you could make it an official wager. Obviously, it's up to you as usual. The Rangers will send Dane Dunning to the mound, and I believe he will be quite motivated in his first start after the birth of his child. Now, he has made 4 starts this year, and in those 4 starts, he has surprised me a lot. In fact, he has allowed 0, 2, 1, and 1 run in those 4 starts. That's quite surprising. He also has an outstanding 0.98 whip statistic. And he's facing Detroit that has a pretty bad offense. I can't say I'm super confident Dunning has been playing great, but maybe he's due for a bad game. So that's the only reason why I'm not betting it personally. I'm a bit scared that Dunning might blow it. But he's facing Joey Wentz, who has been awful. I mean, it doesn't get as bad. It's as bad as it gets, really. He has a 7.80 ERA and a whip stat of 1.66. Oh my God, this is ugly. Now, the Tigers have a quite surprising start to the season with 25 wins and 28 losses. But you know what? I've been following them, and I expect them to go through a pretty bad losing skid at some point, which is exactly what I said about the Pittsburgh Pirates a few weeks ago. Remember when they had a 20-8 record? They lost 2 games in a row, and I told you, oh, I think it's time to fade the Pirates, and they did go on a very bad run. Now, I feel like this could also happen to the Detroit Tigers. I would not be surprised if they go like 2-8 in their next 10 games. That's something to monitor. And it's also one of the reasons why I like this play. And the Rangers have been playing such great baseball. So if you want to bet it, you can go ahead. Now, maybe I'm being too conservative, but in my case, I will either stay away from the game or place a small bet. And now my 5th pick. Are you ready for this? This is a pretty big underdog. So we have 3 big dogs, and this is also an official pick. It goes to the Cincinnati Reds at plus 155 odds. Well, those are the highest odds that I saw at around 9 a.m. Eastern Time. They are playing at the Red Sox. Now, I am quite surprised that the line is that high. I mean, there's not that big of a difference between the Reds and the Red Sox. Yeah, maybe the Red Sox are a slightly better team, but boy, plus 155 odds is very tempting to me. Also, the Reds have been playing much better than the Red Sox lately. In their past 8 games, the Reds have a 6-2 record, while the Red Sox have the complete opposite record. They have a 2-6 record in their past 8 games. Now, both starting pitchers have almost identical whip statistics. Luke Weaver has 1.37, while it sits at 1.36 for James Paxton. It's also interesting to note that Luke Weaver is coming off his best outing of the year, while Paxton is coming off his worst outing of the campaign. So indeed, Weaver allowed 0 runs and just 3 hits to the Cardinals in his last game. Now, I'm not necessarily a big Luke Weaver fan, but you know, you have to give him some credit for such a great game. And meanwhile, Paxton, he allowed 5 earned runs in 3 innings against the Angels. So to me, this may be a good spot to take a big underdog. The Reds have won their past 4 games. They are on fire, so why not give it a shot? It's not as if the Red Sox had a much better pitcher on the mound today. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with this pick. You can let me know in the comments. As usual, I'm always open to your comments. All right, let's see some comments. Hey, Professor, thanks for the show today, says Jordan Elmore. You are very welcome. This is like my 4th or 5th live stream, and I have to admit that I love it. And I've received many good comments about the live shows in the YouTube comments or via email. So I'm really happy that you guys appreciate them. It required quite a bit of work. I mean, I bought 2 new cameras. I had to learn the OBS software, but in the end, it's all worth it. Oh, hello to Argenis Torre Alba from Venezuela. Hola, my friend. Hola, amigo. The Reds money line came through last night, but can't believe the Reds almost blew an 8-0 lead, says Jordan. That's right. Jeff T says the Reds are pesky. They will score a few runs, but also give up a few. Yeah, that's true. The Reds have a very bad bullpen, says Don Snyder. Yeah, I know, but and I fully agree with you guys. Zad the Better agrees with the pick. Jeff says the Reds hit lefties pretty well. Yeah, I really think it's a good spot to take a shot on a big underdog. B. Haas says, love your content. A big thank you. Someone says, only 38 likes. What's going on, guys? Well, that's okay as long as people appreciate the content. That's my reward. Can't wait for live hockey show. Well, you know what? This is not a promise. I'm going to announce something that I don't think I've ever said so far. But right now, my goal is maybe to have some live shows during some NFL games. So maybe on Sunday from 2 p.m. to like 4 p.m. And I'm going to give some live wagering betting tips. That's my plan right now. Okay, this is not a promise, but I feel like this would be super popular and you guys would really enjoy that kind of live stream. Elliot says, I'm on a 2-team parlay, Houston and Texas. Do you like that parlay? Well, I do like the Rangers, the Houston at minus 172 against the Twins. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of it. Also, as you probably know, I don't recommend placing parlay bets. If you like these teams, I recommend making straight bets instead. I made a video that shows how bad parlay bets are. Dustin is asking, do you ever handicap MMA? I'm a very profitable MMA bettor. Are you into it? Unfortunately, no. I feel like there's money to be made. I've not had time to get into it, unfortunately. Okay, all right. So remember, I wanted to talk to you about, let me share my screen, the one-day prediction contest. So you need to sign up at mjpicks.com. I believe right now we have more than 600 people who have signed up to this new platform. When you sign up, you need to choose between a free plan or a paid plan. So if you take a paid plan, that means you will receive all of my betting picks. So what I'm presenting you on YouTube is just a portion of all the betting tips I give. Now, once you log into your account, you click on free contest, and then we have one open contest called One Day MLB Prediction Contest, May 31st. You click on it. Then you have the rules. Let me take a look at them with you quickly. Well, it's quite simple. All you need to do is pick the winner of all 14 games from today in Major League Baseball. But very important, you have until 1 p.m. Eastern Time to enter. Okay, the contest will close at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's a bit... so for those of you who are watching live, you still have an hour and a half to enter the contest. So that's a bit of a reward for those of you who showed up for the live stream. Now, here's something important. You will need to grade each pick from 1 to 14, where 14 equals the pick you like the most, and 1 is equal to the pick you like the least. Now, if you win the pick to which you assigned a grade of 14, you will get 14 points. So this is why this is your most critical prediction. All right, and the participant that will get the most points at the end of the day will win $25 US as a cash prize. There may not be a huge number of participants given the early deadline, so why not give it a shot? It's free to enter. I'm just giving away some money to thank you for showing up for this live stream, guys. Now, if there's a tie between more than one contestant, I will make a random draw and I will announce the winner in tomorrow's YouTube video. So once you log in, you just click on that big blue button called Enter Your Picks here. Then you can choose, for example, personally, I like the Rangers. And here you can choose the rating. So if this is your favorite pick, you can try to get 14 points. Or if it's the pick that you like the least, you rate it 1. So you need to make a pick on all 14 games for today. Hit submit and you are on your way. All right. So I know that some people like it when I do a recap. So today we have 3 official picks. They are all underdogs. I'm taking the Cubs, even though I don't like it so much. We have the Yankees at around plus 125 odds, and also the Reds at plus 155 odds. Those are my 3 official picks for today. I also have a lean on the Texas Rangers in Detroit. And finally, we had a betting system recommending to take the Washington Nationals, but I don't like it at all personally. All right, Mike Love says, I miss seeing your kids in your videos. I hope your family is doing well. Thank you so much for that comment. Yeah, my kids are doing great. I can give you a quick explanation as to why I'm not showing them as often. At some point, I started having less views per video, and my video producer and I thought that maybe some people did not like it, seeing my kids or my dog. Maybe they were like, we don't care, all I want are MLB picks. So I started doing it less frequently. But now that I've changed the format of my videos, the number of views has gone up again. So maybe it was not the case. So yeah, I might include more videos of my kids. More precisely, maybe some baseball videos. Both of my kids are playing in the same baseball team this year, and I'm also the head coach. My girlfriend is an assistant coach. So basically, all 4 family members are in the same team, and we also have a pretty good team, in my opinion. So this should be very, very fun this summer. And I hope to show you some clips of my kids playing baseball. I'm really excited about this, honestly. All right, Don Snyder says, love the videos either way. That whip on Yankees pitcher is 1.60, says Elliott. Yes, I agree. Clark Schmidt does not have great numbers overall this year, but as I showed, he has done much better of late. So I feel like it's worth taking a shot. I mean, you have the Yankees at plus 125 odds. I feel like it could be a good bet. Jake says, I started really liking your videos because of your dogs. Sports and dogs are the 2 best things in this world. Yes, and personally, I have to admit that I'm a big golden retriever lover. I mean, we love those dogs. Well, that's why we bought 2. We love them so much that we figured it would be nice to have 2 of them, and I don't regret it at all. It's so much fun. Congrats, please show us clips. It will be great. Excellent, will do. All right, so that will be it for me. A big thank you for all of you showing up. I see that we've had 505 views so far in this live stream. I appreciate you being here. All right, so I see you again tomorrow with a pre-recorded video, of course, and I will mention who won the $25 prize in my free prediction contest. So go ahead, go to mjpicks.com. You can, if you don't want to pay for my picks, that's fine. Just simply choose the free plan where you will get some free picks via email and SMS if you want. They will basically be the same picks as those that I present on YouTube, but you will get them earlier. And then enter the contest, and who knows, maybe you will win $25, and I will run many more free contests where you can win some cash prizes in the future. I've spent several thousands of dollars to create this platform, mjpicks.com. Hopefully you will appreciate it. All right, thanks a lot, guys, and I'm looking forward to talk to you again tomorrow. Cheers, my friends.